Hello, welcome to the channel and thanks for watching. In this video I'm going to take you through my quick review on Rosemary & Co synthetic brushes, and I'll touch on why you might want to use synthetic brushes, what they're good for and who Rosemary & Co are. So Rosemary & Co are just a normal artist company. They do all sorts of artistic brushes, one set of which is what they call the Red Dot collection, which is a synthetic brush, and they reckon it's as close to sable as you're ever going to find, and they say it's great for using on all sorts of art, but particularly miniatures. So I picked a set of what they call the Red Dot pointed rounds. You can see they do a number of different sizes. First thing to say is they are amazingly cheap. I ordered a few different brushes and the most expensive was £3. I think I spent £11 in total. So I've ordered a size 2, a size 1, a 00 and a 000. Just comparing it here to my kind of go-to brush, a regiment brush from Army Painter, to give you an idea of the size. So I picked those sizes to give me a broad breadth of sizes that I could test on models. Now, one important part about sizing is, although other companies use the 1, 2, 000 sizes, all companies are slightly different. But I found the regiment brush matches a 2, that's what I tend to do base coats with, and the fine detail kind of I usually use for faces and whatever is matching to a 00, but it's nice to mess about. So you can see here, this is just a bit of a footage from my painting Rebel Troopers for Star Wars Legion video, just to show you that I did use the brushes initially for the first week or so to do a couple of squads, used it entirely with the synthetics, just to really get a good feeling on them. Now, when I did this previously with Artis Opus brushes that I've done a review on, I painted a single unit and then did the review. I wanted to give a bit more time for these because, look, you take care of a sable brush, you pretty much know it's going to last you forever. I wanted to see how these reacted. Now, why would you use synthetic brushes rather than sable? Because firstly, they're a lot cheaper, you know, half to sometimes a quarter of the price, depending on what range of fancy sable brushes you're going for. Other one, great for beginners because you're not going to wreck a brush that's 10 quid. And the main thing, the reason I use them, is that they're a lot more durable than a sable brush, and I typically use them for painting metallics. So if I'm going to put metallics on the model, you will see, if you've got an eagle eye on my videos, that I'll use one type of brush for painting the normal model, and then the next brush I'll use on the metals will be different. Now, I used to use cast off and old sable brushes, and the one when they were sort of wearing out, using for metallics, but then sometimes you're almost giving up a new brush to make it your metal brush. So I thought I'm going to invest in some particular synthetics. So I went for Rosemary & Co, so I've got some good experiences with them. Now what I'm showing you here is how they were after basically 2 weeks of use, being quite careful with them, you know, cleaning them just in water, maybe a little bit of soap sometimes, just to, you know, keep them into decent condition. And the tips are absolutely fine, real good condition, real happy with how they performed. So if they're this good, am I abandoning my sable brushes forevermore? Well, no, I'm not. So in terms of how they performed relating to a sable brush, you don't quite have the control. Their bristles don't quite snap back as well as a sable brush does, and actually more importantly, they don't hold the paint as well as a true sable bristled brush. So you do find yourself going back and forth to the paint a lot more. It does dry out a little bit more. So in terms of performance versus, you know, a sable brush, they're not as good. However, unless you are a super talented painter, I can get pretty much the same results out of these brushes as I can from a sable brush, but it just feels nicer using a sable. So bear that in mind when you're doing it. If you are a super talented painter, you will get better results out of a sable brush. However, you're paying for that privilege. These are super cheap in comparison and super durable. So, you know, I didn't really clean these very much, and what you're seeing now is what I did in the following couple of months. So I'm publishing this video, you know, after having these since mid-April. It's now the start of July, so I've used them quite a lot and I've abused them. So I've painted all the scenery that I did in my scenery video you may have seen. I've put metallics through them, I've done all the detail in here. I've not really taken a great deal of care of them. I've literally cleaned them out with a bit of water, I think soap maybe once a week, just to take a little bit out, and they're still in pretty good condition, you'll see here. So this is the last thing I've painted with them. So I'm doing the Morvenval painting video, which will come out straight after this one. So if you're watching this live, the next video will be the Morvenval painting scheme. So, you know, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and watch that one. So I've had quite a lot of experience with the brushes now, using them multi, and I'm going to keep using these. I'm probably going to experiment with more synthetic brushes because I'm quite enjoying taking the opportunity of this channel to, you know, mess around with different stuff, but definitely something I'll keep in my arsenal. So here's how they're looking after several months of, you know, let's be honest, abuse. That's the size 2. Size 1, again, in equal condition. We're getting a little bit of hooking on the tip now, but that can be fixed. There's tricks you can do to bring them back to life in that section, but it's not preventing me in any way using these brushes you know, to do the models. The smaller brushes, I've not used these quite as much because I've not done quite as many small detail. Again, the double zeros experience a little bit of hooking on the tip, but that can be fixed. I'll maybe do a short video at some point of how to do that. So they've held up ridiculously well, considering the kind of abuse I've put them through and metallics and things I've used. So definitely worth getting, definitely good value, something else to stick in your arsenal. Hope you enjoyed that quick video. Comment down below if you'd like to see me doing this kind of review type of stuff again, and check me out on Instagram to see all the other things I do.